Alrighty guys, welcome to a new guide or tutorial series on the channel. I feel like a lot of newcomers are having trouble, and since my first day video was so well received and helped you all out, I decided to turn that type of video into a series going over the first week in Project Zomboid. I'll be playing just through an apocalypse save with a clean slate character and just going in depth about my thought process and decision making. I hope you all enjoy. Also, before we continue, make sure you are on Build 41. Build 41 is with all the cool animations and sneaking and all those cool features, so make sure you're on Build 41 or else your game will be completely different from what I'm actually playing. Ciao! Alrighty guys, welcome to your first week in Project Zomboid. After the disaster of the mechanics series that I did, I decided I'd take a little chill pill on things and I'd just go through a normal week in Apocalypse, real slow paced, real cool, and just go into my thought process and what I think and what I want to do when I'm surviving. Hopefully it helps you guys out, and hopefully you guys can survive longer as a result. Now, we spawned in Muldraugh. Muldraugh is definitely one of the more beginner-friendly cities. That and Riverside, I think, are the best. Rosewood is definitely third, and lastly is going to be West Point. West Point, you don't really want to spawn in there as there are a lot of zombies to deal with. Anyways, it seems like we spawned in the richer type neighborhood. This is a very common spawn in Muldraugh. And actually, I think we're going to base up here. Now, when you first start off Zomboid, you don't want to go too far away from your beginner house if you can help it. Usually, the more familiar the terrain is, the better you will do, especially with how we're going to be clearing out some small groups of zombies. So we're going to give this entire place a little rundown, see what we actually have cooking. We have some remoulade. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Ice cream, actually really good. Ice cream is actually one of the best items to take food-wise. Since we're going to be living in here, I'm not going to worry too much about it because, you know, it's already in the freezer. But this never goes bad, and it almost has 1,600 calories in it, so it's very dense, very low weight type of food here. So we're just going to be trying to look for a weapon. We have a can opener. Can openers are good. And I guess before I loot anymore, some of the items you want to take on the way, at least at the very start, is going to be a bag, a weapon, and basic tools like a saw and hammer. With those, you'll be able to do a lot more with your character. So if we could find it, that'd be great. Another thing is you want to be mindful of actually how much weight your character takes on. So I highly recommend not taking any canned food other than canned corned beef or canned chili, because this canned tomato here, it only has 90 calories, yet it almost weighs an entire kilogram. And since we only have 12 kilograms of space, because we don't have a bag, that's not really the best if we're trying to get a lot of loot and keep on the move. Now, we're actually getting a lot of good stuff here. A can of oats is probably one of the better as well. 1,500 calories with minus 50 hunger, really good. And coffee is actually one of the best things to grab with you. Your character gets tired over time, and so having this on hand, basically eating this entire thing of coffee, allows your character to stay awake for much longer. There's really no side effects to it as well, other than the thirst and unhappiness, of course. So actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to take this tea bag and I'm going to keep it on my character. Basically, this is going to be like a nice little energy drink. Eating the entire tea bag seems a little bit iffy, but trust me, it'll help out if your character's tired and out in the middle of nowhere. We also got some vitamins, which is basically like a tea bag without any of the, you know, downsides. We'll take that as well. So we're just going to be taking a look around. Probably not going to get a lot out of here. But this is a very good spawn, so I'm very happy about that. Hopefully, luck continues to rear its head. So we're going to go check upstairs now. The first thing you want to know as well, no zombies are going to spawn in your starter house, so feel free to just take it as slow as you want. There's going to be no one banging at the door upstairs. Now, actually, right here, we have a radio. This is going to be especially useful if we want to level up our electricity skill, which we currently can't do that right now because we don't have a screwdriver. But it's also going to be useful to check them just in case if they have the emergency broadcast system. All I did is I right-clicked the radio and went into device options. Sometimes these radios will have a hidden frequency, and that will basically give you a news of an incoming chopper or just the weather in general. So it's really nice to keep an eye on these. You can also get free batteries out of these if you want to power up, say, a flashlight or something. All you have to do is right-click it to remove the battery. Since there's nothing on this right now, we're going to leave it be, especially since this is our starter home. Now, if we could get a bag out of the start, that would be good, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get that lucky. Yeah, we're going to have to venture out a little bit further, check out the neighborhood, maybe clear out a few zombies here and there. Okay, right here, we have quite a bit of good stuff. Disinfectant is going to be great. We're going to leave it in here, as that's going to be real useful to have for medical purposes. We also have a sheet here. Now, sheets are really useful because what you can do is you can right-click it and rip these into sheets. These ripped sheets are essentially makeshift bandages for your character. Always having, like, I'd say 5 bandages on your inventory at all times is a must in this, because it is very easy to scratch your jugular and bleed out really quickly. Like, you won't even realize, like, you will have bled out. Now, if you don't find a sheet normally, you can also find a window here. There's a lot of options for this window. See, this actually has a pair of curtains on it. So what we can do is we can remove the curtains, and then we can rip up the sheets that way. Or, on the contrary, I'm actually going to keep this pair of sheets on me, or this sheet on me, because what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to make makeshift curtains. So if some of the windows downstairs don't have any curtains, we can add them on. As you see, there's some more right here. But this is another easy way to actually get bandages. You can remove the curtains and rip up the sheet. And if you're really strapped for time, you can rip up your own clothing into makeshift bandages as well. We're going to try and make this place as defendable as possible, so getting some curtains on some of these windows is going to be nice. Thankfully, it seems like we actually have a few already on here. We also have some skill books, Advanced Metalworking, and First Aid for Beginners. The way these skill books work is, let's say you take First Aid for Beginners. You read it all the way through. You're going to get a stat multiplier for the first 2 levels of that skill. So I think it's a 2.5 increase. So you won't get any XP from reading the books directly, but reading the book and then doing the skill will increase your workload by a lot. So what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be closing these curtains, and we're also going to turn on this television. There is a Life and Living TV show, and we might be able to get some skills out of it. I think it's 6 to 9 to some of these. I'll drop the actual times for each of these TV shows. But basically, what this allows you to do is get some skills very early on if the right program is playing. Yeah, see, as you see, we're getting carpentry level 12, I mean, not level 12, XP right now. Just make sure you're on the Life and Living TV channel. Sadly, we don't have a clock, so we can't exactly gauge what time this is. But it's always good just to keep them on when you're looting through homes in general, because it is going to be very nice to level up very quickly. Yeah, I will keep all of the timestamps for each TV show for each day in the description. That'll take up quite a bit of a chunk, but hopefully it'll help you all out. Okay, so that seems like it's going to be it for now. And as you see, that immediately increased our carpentry level to level 1. Okay. We're just going to leave that running. We're going to make sure it's actually at a small volume as well. We're only going to go 1 bar on this, so it doesn't attract any zombies nearby. So let's go add in a sheet to this window, and we're going to go close that as well. There we go. Okay. So we still need a container, and we still need quite a few things. So the back door, there is one, but we don't actually have a lot of windows, which is great. So we're going to add in... I don't think we can add in... we can't add in a sheet onto this door. There we go. And we'll close the curtains on that as well. Okay. So at least we've kind of like shut ourselves in. Nice little quarantine. And I think it's about time we head outside. Sadly, we weren't able to get a weapon or a bag in our starter home, but maybe we can get lucky by checking out the neighborhood. You can press E to quickly open doors, or you can click it normally as well. Okay. So, first things first, what you want to do as soon as you leave your house, just scroll out all the way and just take in the inventory. You know, what's really going on here. As you see, we have a group of 5 zombies. That's not exactly something we want to take on right now. And we're just going to hug the wall of our house here. One cool little thing is that the closer you are to, like, furniture in the wall, the less detectable you are. As you see, our character's kind of doing like a half squat. You can press C to go into this mode, by the way, the sneak mode. And as you see, if we get closer to furniture and to the walls, our character takes on a little bit lower of a profile, which does actually help out with detection. So we have quite a few zombies in the area. This is not exactly the best. This is why you don't want to, like, run out immediately when you first start. And actually, we have ourselves a mint condition minivan here. Holy hell, this is really good. Chances that it's locked are probably high, yeah. Okay, so we're not going to be able to break into this just yet. If we get a weapon, we might be able to smash open the passenger side, but that van is completely off limits to us right now. So, we have quite a few zombies in the area. Not exactly the best. We got quite a few at that wreck up there. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and cut through this way. There are a couple of zombies, but it should be no problem for us if they do see us. Generally, fighting 2 zombies is going to be a little bit of a pain. You generally want to go for a 1v1 scenario. That's going to be the best, and it's probably going to be the most survivable. Okay, there are actually quite a few idiots here. Let's just keep on coming in through the side. Let's see if we can actually open this up. It's just this guy in here right now. Okay, so we got 1 zombie on us. Now, whenever we want to engage with combat, we always want to be moving while holding right-click. You never want to stand still and push, because, you know, the chances that you actually get grabbed are a lot higher. Now, once we push him over, we're going to be able to right-click, left-click, and bash his brains in. But before that, one cool little tip. I've covered this in the first 24 hours, but I'll cover it again because it is especially useful. You can sit on top of a zombie, and they can't move. This goes with zombies as well. Say there's a zombie on top of a downed zombie, they're not going to be able to move until you leave off their corpse. So, what this allows you to do is stand on top of a zombie you pushed over, and then attack the one that's coming at you that's standing up. Super useful for taking on 2v1s. So we're going to bash in his head. Seems like no one else has hurt us. Okay, so let's try and attract this guy without too much of a problem. We're going to enable sneak mode. And, they're getting pretty close together. Let's see if we can attract at least one of them. Hey, there we go. Okay, seems like she did see us. There are quite a few here. Now, thankfully, they're coming in one-on-one, and we won't have to, you know, run away, or at least do some evasive maneuvers here. Let's bash her brains in. You can also press space. Okay, now we have 2 zombies coming in. So, we're always going to be backing up, make sure no one's coming up behind us, and we're going to back up and push. Just keep on backing up and pushing. We should be able to get them over in time. And now, we can bash in her brains. And then this guy's going to get back up. We're going to make sure no one's coming up behind us, and we're going to push him over. Yep. Okay, he did get away there. We want to be very cautious with these zombies. And there we go. We just wiped out 4 of them. Now, this guy actually does have a leather jacket on him, and I would suggest wearing this, as it does give a lot of armor defense here. I guess I'll show you guys. So if I were to say wear this jacket right now, and I were to go into my health menu, this is a health menu, by the way. This is where you're going to be able to see exactly what's going on with you. You have your info, you have your skills, health, and your protection. As you see, wearing that leather jacket has given me 40% scratch protection and 20% bite defense. Now, the only problem is that it's gonna heat us up. So we're gonna leave this on the floor for right now. We'll come back for it later when it's a little bit cooler. We're also gonna drop the clothing off these zombies on the ground, as zombies do decay over time. So if you survive for, let's say, a month or so, these once, you know, rotting corpses are gonna be skeletons, and then they'll be reduced to ashes. Now, this zombie actually had a classic wristwatch, so we're going to be wearing that just so we can tell what time it is. There we go. It's currently 2:30, so it's a pretty decent time for it. We got all of their clothing on the floor so it doesn't decay when they decay. So, let's continue trying to assault this house with our beautiful watch in hand. So, before we even think of entering it, I want to make sure that this place is completely clear. And it seems like there's still one more idiot lingering here. There's also few zombies up over there. So let's see if we can attract him. We're going to go into sneak mode, and we're going to press Q to actually go into a whisper shout type deal. This is really useful for if a zombie isn't like actually targeting you and you want to get their attention. It has a very low radius, but that's probably for the best, as you want to be pretty stealthy when you're doing it. So we got his attention. Let's push him over and bash in his brains. There we go. Didn't have anything good on him. Now, these windows right here, they're smashed. And if we had, say, a melee weapon on hand, we would actually be able to remove this broken glass and go through it safely. But because we don't have an item in our left or right hand, we're not going to be able to go through there. So we're going to look for an untouched window, and we're going to try and jimmy it open. We can press E, or we can right-click and try and open it up. There is a chance that it is completely jammed and we're not going to get lucky, but it seems like we did. The window chance, I think, modifier is actually affected by strength. So the stronger you are, the more chances you will actually have of succeeding. So this is a little bit of a hot zone. We know our potential exit, but before we do anything else, I want to make sure this door is unlocked and ready to go. This is going to be one of my potential exits, and if it does hit the fan, I'm going to be running at a moment's notice and just zooming right for the exit. Okay, so we have an idiot here. Let's attract her attention with a quiet shout. Yep, bring her down over here. We're actually going to lead her out into the open. I don't really like fighting zombies inside enclosed buildings like this if I can help it. Being out in the open gives you so many advantages. Now, I guess I'll go into the moodlets a little bit. Right now, we're getting a little bit peckish, a little bit thirsty, and slightly panicked. So panic is pretty bad. Basically, the more zombies your character is introduced to, the more panicked your character gets, and that means they are less effective in combat. So you always want to keep an eye on your panic. If you say fight a group of 7 zombies, your guy's actually going to be like crapping his pants. So we took out that zombie lady in the bathroom, it seems. So we're going to make sure there's no one else in here. We're also going to hurry up and switch the TV channel to Life and Living. We might be able to catch a channel. Now you can religiously follow this, but generally you just want to keep that. You want to keep it in the back burner, though. If you want some skills off the start, pick the times of the skills that you want the most. I think carpentry goes from like 12 to something like that, and then just work off there. Okay. So what I did there is I actually spammed E. If you spam E really... Oh, okay, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Okay, maybe not. But usually spamming E allows you to get a nice little, I guess, window into his, you know, into like an area. Now that didn't really work out. Maybe I'm not so fluent in Dorfu, but we actually did get a house key, so that actually allows us to lock some of the main doors. So since we are so close to home, we are going to be taking just about everything we can get our grubby little mitts on right now. A cooking pot, actually really good. You want to stockpile cooking pots and containers, especially since the water and electricity will go out. So just filling up as many containers as possible is going to be very helpful for your survival. Okay, so we have a closet here. Now, a few things you can do is you can do a quiet shout on the other side of the door. That should attract zombies, just in case if there are like a group of 5 zombies behind the door. Because there are times when there will be like 10 to 20 zombies literally jam-packed into a bathroom. So there's nothing in there. And another thing we can do is we can push it. If we push the door, there's no one behind here. So if you're not feeling too confident, you can always do that. And it seems like we actually got ourselves our first weapon, so that's going to be really nice. So we got ourselves a metal pipe. Not exactly the best condition and damage. Probably going to last like 3 zombies. But it is better than nothing. So what we're going to do is we're going to right-click it and attach it to our back. This lower hotbar here is actually kind of like your quick selection. So since we attach this metal pipe on our back, all we have to do is press 1, and we can equip it immediately. And if we want to unequip it, we can press 1 again. So it's pretty useful to have, and it definitely helps out when you have your main weapon on your back. So we actually got quite a few books here. Now, if you aren't staying nearby your starting house, taking books like Expert Foraging probably won't help you immediately. I'd only take beginner or intermediate level books, because this is only for level 7 to 8, and getting to that point is going to require a lot longer than a week. Another thing we'll do, since we're getting a little bit thirsty, is we'll drink some of this water coming from the tap. Now, right now, it's actually in an unlimited supply. As you can see here, it says water unlimited. You can also wash yourself off completely in these. But once the water goes out, you will see that it will have a ceiling. So we're going to keep our weapon equipped. And we're going to slowly take it. Okay. There's an idiot here. Let's see if we can attract his attention with a quiet shout. Hey, buddy, come on. Okay, seems like it's not working. He's a little bit too preoccupied on the door. So we're going to sneak up behind him, and we're going to hit him in the back of the head. And we're going to finish him off. There we go. As you see, having a weapon really helps out. Oh my god, this is really good. This right here is actually great. We got metalworking for beginners, foraging for beginners, foraging for intermediates, and electricity. Yeah, this is all great. This right here, this is so good. And we're also going to take the book because that helps with unhappiness and all of that jazz. Okay. Dang, that's really good. We also got a few magazines for all models of vehicle. Now, I'm still hearing banging. So let's make sure that the rest of this place is cleared out before we do anything else. Okay. Bedroom 1, clear. Shove this, make sure no one else is on the other side. Okay, bedroom 2, or bathroom, clear. We got another sheet here. And actually, this is another thing that we want. We want a water container. Now, we could have actually used this empty cooking pot for a water container, but I like to find water bottles, or even better yet, bleach bottles. So, you're not going to want to drink the bleach. What you want to do is you're going to take that into your inventory. And what you can do is right-click it and pour the bleach on the ground. And basically, This is a water bottle on steroids. It's also very low in weight, so we're actually going to do this with the other one as well. We want to stockpile water as soon as possible and get ready for the upcoming hard times. We'll go fill it up at our original house so we're not completely overweight. But there we go. We got 3 empty bleach bottles, and now what we can do is fill up one of these, and this can be our water bottle to go. Now, the good thing is once you get a water bottle in your inventory, you don't have to worry about, I guess, drinking manually. Your character will drink automatically so long as there is a bleach bottle or any type of water bottle in your inventory. Okay, so we cleared out our first home here. Didn't really get anything too crazy. One thing we want to keep our eyes out for is actually a hammer and nails. With that, we would actually be able to get some barricading done. So we're going to open the door, let this idiot in, and we're going to bash him in the head. There we go. Make sure he has nothing good on him. Absolutely nothing. Okay. So just like that, we cleared out our first home. We're taking it super slow. We're getting kind of hungry. And as a result, the more hungry your character is, the weaker they are in general. So as you see, because we are hungry, we have a fairly heavy load now. The main downsides to having a heavy load on your character is that you won't be able to do a lot more things. So yeah, definitely gotta, oh, I don't really like that. So we might actually clear them out. But for right now, I just want to slip into the back of my house here. Try and avoid them to the best of our ability. And we're going to drop everything off just into this shelf here. We can do some inventory management later, but for right now, that doesn't really matter. One thing that I will actually do right now as well is grab my water bottle. And we're going to right click it and we're going to favorite it. So what we're going to do here, favorite. And that way, we can't actually drop it on the floor accidentally. I'm also going to do the same thing with these sheets. There we go. Another cool thing about the bourbon that we just got, actually, is that we can use it to either drink our woes away, or we can make a Molotov cocktail, or we can disinfect rags and use it as a type of disinfectant. So if your character does get scratched, we're going to be pretty good. Now, it is 6 o'clock, so we might be able to catch a quick broadcast. And see, look at that. We're back on Exposure Survival. So I think the main times are going to be 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 12 o'clock are going to be your main times. You can also change the time settings, so if you don't want to use military time, you can change it to standard time. There we go. We got ourselves a couple of fishing skills. Pretty nice, pretty nice, pretty nice. I actually don't recommend speeding up watching through that, because sometimes you won't get all the XP that you need, so I kind of did a little bit of an oopsie there, but we should be alright. And before we actually decide to go fight this last group of zombies, we are going to grab a quick little bite to eat. I want to go through the perishable stuff first. So we're going to eat this remoulade. Hopefully we can find some more stuff in the future. I want to save the canned stuff for when winter actually hits. So we're still slightly peckish, but that doesn't affect our strength. So now we're going to head out, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about horde clearing, or at least group clearing. So we're going to slowly sneak up on this. And as you see, all of them are looking at one direction, other than this one zombie. Basically, what you want to do is you want to play the awareness game. So you want to kind of like bob and weave in and out of their little awareness bubble. So it seems like we got this guy pretty isolated, so we can bash his brains in real lickety-split. Now, he actually does have a varsity jacket, which is one of my favorite jackets, because it gives you bite and scratch defense, while also not slowing your character down. Generally, with a lot of these jackets, they're gonna weigh you down by quite a bit. We're actually gonna take his entire outfit and we're gonna drop it off inside this little laundry room. Make sure no one else is coming up on us. Yeah, they changed location, so we're gonna drop this on the floor. We're also gonna drop our tank top and t-shirt right now because we don't really need it, and all it's gonna do is make us a little bit more sweaty and exhausted because it is a hot summer day in Kentucky. So I see each of them are looking in separate directions right now. I see that this lady right here is looking downward. So we're going to try and play with her awareness bubble. And we're going to try and just lead her away. So we're going to slowly move up here, try and attract her away from the group. There we go. Okay. That's really good for us. Just have her slowly come over. We'll shove her over. We're bashing her brains. Now, one of the main ways to level up weapons is actually to use them. So you can't just use your feet all the time if you want to level it up. Okay. So it seems like these two zombies actually hurt us and that one didn't. But since I kind of want to demonstrate group combat real quick, I'm going to attract this guy as well. So come on, buddy. Let's go. Okay. So this is when you need to be very cautious about fighting zombies. This is do or die right here. So let's see it. Okay, we're gonna turn around. As you see, they're all coming in a line. This is a good time to attack them because they're all coming in they're all coming in a horizontal line, and our weapon actually broke. So we're gonna try and shove them away while stepping back. I don't recommend fighting more than this amount when you're first starting off, but we should be able to shove them over, and just try and just keep on backing up while shoving them over. We might honestly not get lucky here. There we go. Okay, so now we can bash their brains in. Just keep them all on the ground. Whoever gets up first, you just have to kill them first. There we go. Okay, she got back up, but since we're standing on top of Purple Jacket guy, they can't do much. Honestly, I recommend wholeheartedly to hop into a little bit easier of a difficulty and just get a gauge for the combat, because combat can be a little bit tricky and a little bit finicky. Okay, see that right there? We just jogged, which might have been bad. You don't want to jog. I highly recommend actually sneaking and then pressing shift to jog, because this is a little bit more quieter. The only downside is that it exhausts you a little bit faster. Okay. But when they're side by side, you don't want to attack them when they're side by side. That is a no-no. So we're going to wait from them. And there we go. Now they're a little bit more, a little bit more vertical. As long as they're not horizontal, we should be all right. Let's see if we can get one more to get shoved over. We don't want to be out any longer than this, so we're going to try and kill them right now. Another cool little tidbit is that the weapon, the amount of damage you do with the curb stomp is actually determined by what you're wearing. So shoes do more damage than sneakers, but sneakers also make you run faster. So it's a little bit of a give and take. And the boots make you run super slow, but they are the most damaging and the most protective. Okay, so we took them out. One of the things we need to worry about actually is exhaustion. A lot of people, they'll just keep on going, and that will be one of the worst that'll be one of the worst problems you'll ever do. Because in this game, when your character gets tired, their productiveness tanks. It absolutely tanks into the negatives, like the far depths of hell. So we're not gonna go out past 8. I'm gonna head back inside because I don't want to get caught being exhausted outside. The only reason why we were able to take on this group of 5 and be able to be such a powerhouse, even with no actual skills or anything, is because we don't have a lot of negative moodlets going against us. If our character was exhausted and tired, we would have had a much harder of a problem killing these idiots. So, we're gonna head back inside, and I think we're gonna call it a day here. Of course, calling it a day is not actually it yet. We're gonna be doing a little bit of reading, and we're gonna rest up. If your character has been doing a lot of running and a lot of combat, going to any chair, any bed, or any couch even, and right-clicking and pressing rest allows your character to actually regain their stamina, not their fatigue, just their stamina, which is going to be super useful. So our character is good to go now. He's ready to run for the races. So yeah, we're going to slow it down for today. Probably going to go eat some... We really don't have that much food for us. Yeah, we're going to go have some canned tomato. We're going to open it up with this can opener. And this is going to be food for tonight. It should be good enough for Din Din. Straight out of the can. See, the good thing about vegetables is if your character's overweight, it'll be very easy to lose weight. But since we are not overweight, we're not really bothered by it. Okay. So we're going to spend the rest of the time reading up. We have metalworking for beginners, forging for beginners, and electricity. I honestly think forging for beginners is going to be one of the more important ones. I will dabble into forging a little bit this week. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit in front of the TV, and I'm going to read until around 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock is generally a good time for it, so since I'm pretty safe in here, we have all the windows shut, no actual sight lines, we can sit down and read for a little while. So we're going to wait till 11:30. Okay, that should be a good time. We're going to slowly head upstairs. We're also going to turn off this TV, just in case. There we go. Okay, everything's looking good. As you see, we got through 74 pages out of 220, and if we were to go into our skills, we could see that there's an arrow going here, and we have a 0.9 multiplier. The more pages you read, the higher the multiplier it is. So we're going to pick the master bedroom. Yeah, this is a good area. We're also going to shut the curtains in this place as well. Zombies can sometimes spot you upstairs. And if they are nearby, I don't suggest turning on and off the lights. because that can attract them to your location. So we're going to go to sleep, almost 12 o'clock. We should be able to get a nice 6, or I'd say, yeah, around 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours of sleep. And it seems like we actually woke up at 4:30, so we slept a little bit too early. 5:30 is generally when it becomes light out, so we're going to wait just a little bit longer, speed up time, read a little bit more of the book, and we're ready for another day out in the apocalypse. Alrighty, I'm going to end the episode here, though. If you guys liked this episode, please like, favorite, share, subscribe for more, and we will continue our second day. Hopefully we can get a little bit more lucky with tools and supplies, but I gotta say, that was a pretty good first day. Anyways, if you guys liked this episode, please like, favorite, share, subscribe for more. The next episode will be out shortly. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.